Hi everyone, welcome to World of Clan Wars with stewiejp. I'm Stewie, you're not, neither any of these blokes. Kicking us off today is 1AR Clan. Jump on it from 1AR Clan with a legend on the advanced front on the Clan Wars for the Dawn of Industry campaign. This is Procaster and this is 1AR versus the old rivals, SABRE, if you like. We're on Procaster and have a look at the mini-map. Looks like one of the chieftains, maybe one of the chieftains has crashed, I'm not too sure. But Stewie the Hand looks like he's the one calling this one. He's pinging the map like an absolute madman. Looking at 1AR's lineup, a few 140s, a 907, a swag of chieftains, couple of 277s, a Striv 103B, and 3 EBRs. 3 EBRs because it's Procaster. Looking at the mini-map, you can see the lads and ladettes from 1AR Clan have swarmed the eastern half of this map in Procaster. It's sort of divided into two, right? There's a railway line straight down the guts, all open field on the western half, and a little bit of cover, a couple of hills, and a creek on the eastern half of Procaster. 0-0 the score. Jump on it. Sent me this replay in, and is in the Team Tiger Chieftain. Have a look at it. Cops a shot from the enemy Chieftain, blocks a shot from the EBR 105 Team Tiger. Best team for sure. He's even got the Aussie flag on the Chieftain, which is the right thing to do when you've got a great tank such as the T95 FV4 201. 1AR versus SABRE. This is it. This is an advanced front game. Shout out to the SABRE lads and ladettes. They had a great campaign as well. They were rocking and rolling through the middle of the night, like I'm sure a lot of you people watching this video would have been as well. A shout out to anyone who had a red hot go during the Clan Wars campaign. I stayed up a lot of the nights, not all of them, I'll be honest with you, but not all of them, but a lot of the nights I did, and I tell you what, it was. Look, I really felt for the people who spent 8 hours or even longer than 8 hours a night playing this game. 0-0 the score. 1AR versus SABRE on Procaster. Going through the lineups again. 2 277s on 1AR's team. 4 chieftains, 3 object 140s, a 907, a STB, that's the Japanese medium tank. 3 EBRs, and as we lose 1 EBR, Aztec goes down. But a couple more tanks getting blown off, and this is where the fight's happening, right in the middle of Procaster. Look at the map, the EBR swarm and the 140s from SABRE Clan going down the southwest part of the map. Looks like the heavies are swarming the Super Conqueror in the north up there. Looks like the heavies and the 907 rushing that Super Conqueror. They want to get it done quickly before anyone else who's out in the field might hurt them. Jump on it, smashing it over the top of the railway lines near that broken carriage. That last shot didn't quite go through, and you can see all these green arrows on both teams. The green arrows mean they're running that, what are they running? They're running the modernisation, which depending on which kind of modernisation you run, some give you more hit points but a little bit less speed. Some of them give you, some of them is like running vents. There's a supercharged one, which, look, I ran it in the EBR once and promptly probably flipped my tank and made an embarrassment of myself, but that's okay. Jump on, knows what he's doing. 3,500 hit points of damage done so far. 780 damage block, 1441, 1534 assisted damage. Looking out towards the centre of Procaster, there's 2 chieftains on SABRE's team. 4 2s are scored. No idea where that shot went. And is he running out of premium ammunition? I'm not too sure. It's a 119.38mm gun, 440 alpha damage, 270 pen with standard, 322 with premium. They're both APCR. He's got a few heat rounds there. I hope he doesn't run out of. Oh, I missed that one by a millimetre as my old mate the money shot gets taken out by the EBR on the is it the southern part of the map? I'm not sure where he was. Jump on it though, is getting some beautiful shots into the sides of the SABRE tanks, the T95 FV4 201s that are over here in the mini map, which is what Jump on It is shooting at. As they're aiming to shoot this Super Conqueror, I nearly said, this Chieftain and 907 up here in the central northern part of the map is Jump on It getting side shots into the side of the turrets of those tanks. 7-6 the score, so it's anybody's game right now. Looking. Quite a few of the lads from SABRE are at pretty low health. Hit right into the side of that one. Gets hit by a high explosive round from that chieftain over there in the middle. Chieftains all over the place. What did SABRE bring? 1, 2, 3 chieftains. None of them are dead yet. 3 chieftains, 2 EBRs, 1 unknown tank, which may be artillery. A couple of super conks which are gone. A swagger 140s, an EBR, and a 907. 9-8 the score in the favour of 1AR Clan. He bounces the chieftain again. He turned his turret just at the right moment, that quest guy. And Stewie the Ham pinging the map like a machine, saying, boys, let's not fuck this up. We want to get this. 9-9 the score. This is going to come down to the wire. 9-9's the score. 3 heavy tanks remaining on each team. 2 light tanks and a Striv on SABRE's team. one light tank, a TD, and a medium tank on 1AR's team. There's the EBR, Ravener. He had an absolute ripper in the EBR. Where is he going though? He needs to not get taken out. He's the last light tank. It looks like he's been given the direction to go all in the west. So STB coming to help as well, and that brings the score back to 11-10 as Ravener finally gets taken out by the T95 FB4 201. Jump on it though on the other time. He hasn't got any kills yet, but he's racked up nearly 5,000 hit points of damage. 1534 assist. His block 1660, which is that's what the Chieftain's all about. You can block shots with that turret all day long, as well as being relatively quick. Looking now towards this Chieftain, he's saying, I want some more of that damage. Hit by the Striv for 425 hit points. Takes him down to 1,103. The Striv gets taken out by the 277. Kill still Soldier, and that just leaves the Striv. Last spotted over there, near the stabby over there. Jump, aiming. Taking his time, puts one into the side of the Tier 10 Swedish tank destroyer. And don't take anything away from what SABRE did in that game. That was a pretty high five effort. They've certainly improved, and the people who know a little bit about this game tell me that SABRE have really stepped their game up, and they had some fantastic fights against 1AR. I'm sure they had some fantastic fights against a few other clans. Now we're going to move on to some Fort battles. If you don't know who Fort are, they ended up doing pretty well in the campaign, that's for sure. But first we'll go through the result. Fucking hell, Chewie. Make up your mind. Jump on up from 1AR clan. They did all right. 5,649 damage in the end in the Chieftain, the T95 FE4 201. I've got one. Did I mention I've got one? Good spread of damage there as well. Stewie the Ham in the Striv, cleaning up on 4,000 damage. And a bit of shout, a few kills there between, is that IMC Jimmy or is it the other IMC Jimmy? Who knows? Kill Steel Soldier, the EBR, they had a great time. And the lads and ladettes from SABRE keep turning up, keep playing well, and they're certainly improving. I reckon they are anyway. That's what they tell me. Cost him a few credits, me old mate Jumpy, but who cares, because Clam Wars, only 19,000. No problems whatsoever. Let's move on to the second game in this Tier 10 Extravaganza. Clam Wars Extravaganza, Dawn of Industry. This is one from Fort. Now, a few of our friends play in Fort Clan. A few of the community contributors too, including Napalmer and the Flying Elite. Flying Elite very kindly sent me a few replays, and there's a few familiar names in this one. Now, Flying Elite's playing the Conch GC. So's Napalm. 3 artilleries in this one. This is a 15 versus 15. I can't see any of those arrows there, so maybe nobody's running those the modernisation, but Flying Elite there aiming in on a couple of Chieftains on 3 minutes. 3 minutes is the clan they're playing. They're playing on Redshire, and looking at Fort's lineup, it's no surprises really. Look at that. 3 Hardies went bang, bang, bang onto that Chieftain. No, none dead yet. 2 Object 79Es on Fort's team. 1, 2, 3, 4 Chieftains, 3 Object 907s, 3 EBRs, and 3 artilleries. All the British bad boys, a Conqueror gun carrier, and is looking at those heavies. Looking at the minimap, 3 minutes have bought a number of heavy tanks, a 277, 3 T95 FV4 201s, a few 140s, a 90, and a couple of EBRs. That we've seen so far, and it looks like a decent number of medium tanks are going on that eastern part of Redshire, where the heavy tanks normally do their thing in a pub battle. Object 279E up there at A1. Normally when you see that in a pubby, you might go, fucking hell, what's that bloke doing? But that's okay. One of the other Conch GCs, Ninja Monkey, gets the kill on the EBR. And from what I'm told, artillery specialists love getting kills on EBRs, because EBRs can certainly ruin an artillery player's day. Roby 1 Kenobi playing for Fort Clan in the EBR, doing some spotting up there, looking for these ones. Flying Elite fires towards the Object 140, misses, but still gets 313 hit points of damage. Relocates just in case the enemy team are looking to maybe counter artillery. And as he's reloading, we can have a bit of this. 1-1 the score. That's another EBR. 3 EBRs on Fort's team, don't forget. Not sure who's calling this one. Not much map pinging going on. The only thing really happening in the chat is the reloading thing you do when you're in artillery, which is the best way of letting your teammates, your clan mates, and your callers know exactly how much reload time you've got. Now, I'm not sure what happened there. As soon as you click fire, but before the shell landed, he zoomed back into out of artillery view, as the EBR and the enemy team gets run over, and that's 2 kills to Fort Clan, 1 to Ninja Monkey in the Conch GC, 1 from the one of the EBRs, and he's just about loaded, looking at that 140, thinking, if we can land this shot, he will feel. His name's Prius Driver, which I don't know, not many Priuses there are there. Again, he shoots and zooms out at the same time. Not sure. It looks like the Object 140 was unspotted by the time the shell landed there. So we'll see in Flying Elite's battle result at the end of the game if any of that, if the in-game battle log is any different to the amount of damage that he actually did. There's the FV 4201, the T95 FV 421, the Chieftain, kicking back there in the bushes, playing it very interestingly. 2-1's a score. Looks like Ninja Monkey is aiming there as well. So is the Flying Elite, and they're going to maybe possibly both blind fire that bush, because that's where that Chieftain was last seen, and he's more than likely still sitting. Relocates again. Napalm sitting there next to him. The twin Conqueror GCs, the Tier 10 British artillery pieces. The one that probably one of the most popular artillery pieces in Clan Wars in the time that I've been playing this game, which is a long time now. Flying Elite from Fort in the Conch GC. We looking on red. Shy is just about reloaded. He's aiming where the T95, the 2 Object 277s, two Chieftains were last spotted in the central part of the map. But here comes a move from 3 minutes, and he wants this one to land. He shoots. Is he going to get the 9-0? No, he just misses. Unlucky. Winning his luck, right? 2-zip the score. Flying Elite not landing all. Well, he probably is landing all his shots, but some of the ones that he's doing are not. The tanks are going unspotted before the shell lands, so we'll see what else. Transpires. Here's a couple of one. Here's a 140, a 90, and a Chieftain, and those two medium tanks. He could kill 2 with 1 shell here, but why would he when the other mediums have sort of got him covered? Goes to look to kill the Chieftain, doesn't quite land it. Object 140 sitting there in the creek, and he's I think he's a little bit alone and vulnerable. So you might as well stun him before somebody else starts shooting him. Does the water affect the splash? Doesn't seem to. 438 hit points into the side of the Object 140. Takes him down to 1,082 hit points. 5-2's the score, and now it's an all-in brawl in the centre of the map. 277s and Chieftains on 3 minutes team up against Chieftains on Fort's team. On the east, there's the EBR spotting for the sniping 907 as well as the Object 279E in the east. The 279E up in the northwest. I'm not sure if he's what he's doing down there, but he's keeping an eye on the 90 as well with the help of the EBR on the west. Here comes the Object 140. He's just about loaded. The 907 you'd think would have him covered, but Flying Elite says, fuck it, I might as well shoot. Picks up his first kill. Brings his damage up to 1780, which doesn't sound like a lot, especially when the score's 8-5, but at least 2 or 3 of his shots we haven't seen if they've done damage or not. Looking again toward right in front of him, basically. The line's red, so it doesn't look like he has shot. So he turns around over to the western Object 279E. That's the final reward tank for the final lot of personal missions. Tyrion Lannister. I've seen that game in the past. And he's looking, saying, get out of my way, man. I'll be able to shoot him for you. No, Tyrion Lannister goes down. Flying Elite shoots and nearly kills the Object 907. Takes him down to 14 hit points, which we know is 13 hit points more than he needs. And that brings the score back to 10-7. They're certainly winning this, and they're certainly in a pretty good position, but they haven't won anything yet. 12-7 now. That just leaves 3 tanks left on the enemy team. The 277, which is, you'd think that those Chieftains would have him covered, but he's Flying Elite. He's hoping to get a shot into the 277. He's only got a few pixels to aim at. He's just about loaded. If he keeps climbing that hill, he might be able to get another shot into the Tier 10 Russian heavy tank. Nearly loaded. 3, 2, 1, bang. Shoots and gets him for 530. No, not only 530, but he also keeps him stunned so that his teammates can hopefully clean him up. They do. They clean him up. Takes him down to 322. One more shot should get rid of him. No, they're still shooting, these blokes. They're never giving up. They're never giving up, the guys from 3 minutes, which is good to see. Fort, though, it looks like they're having an absolute ripper of a campaign, and we're going to have 2 more replays from the Flying Elite from Fort Clan. We started off with the Conch GC. Let's have a look at how he went. That was a win. No surprise. We knew that was a win. But let's get the other replay ready to rock and roll. What did it say? I think it said about 1800 in game, But in actual fact, he did a hell of a lot more than that. He did 3,334 hit points of damage. Plenty of great spread, a great spread of damage. You might say, oh, Obi-Wan Kenobi, he got plenty of assisted damage, and that was his job. Just drive around and light them up, and they did that very well indeed. Plenty of people doing around about 2,000 or more hit points of damage. They absolutely, looking at the score, looks like Ford absolutely walloped 3 minutes, but. To be fair, like some didn't do much, but some did some damage on 3 minutes as well. Flying Elite, you cheeky bastard. He even made credits. Playing artillery in a Clam Wars battle. There was boosters and stuff there too. That's why. This goes to show you don't always have to hemorrhage credits when you're playing Clam Wars battle. Now this one might be fast and furious. This is Ford again. Ford again up against CHN. I'm not sure what CHN stands for, but. Don't blink, because this game is not going to be slow at all. It's 10 versus 10. Of course, on the basic front, there was 10 versus 10 battles. On the Elite and Advanced was 15 versus 15. Of course, the way you get the reward tanks, and the 907 is one of the reward tanks. Team Dragon, Flying Elite, come on, man. Team Tiger was the best by a mile. What do we got? 277, 2 279Es, 2 Super Conks, a Chieftain, 3 907s and 80. No tank locking on the basic front, which is 10 versus 10. And 10 versus 10 is something that if you're in a developing clan or a clan that hasn't really done much Clan Wars or competitive activity, 10 versus 10 isn't as daunting as 15 versus 15 for a lot of people. It's a lot easier to coordinate 10 people rather than 15 people, and work out prod and probe the map if you like. Try to work out where the enemy are, and then exploit a weakness. Flying Elite in the 907. Which is a tank that hopefully by the time this video gets out, maybe I'll have one in my garage. He's got the heat rounds loaded, which is premium ammunition on this thing. 320 alpha damage for the 100mm gun, 330 penetration with premium ammunition, 264 with APCR, which is standard in this tank. You can look at the mini-map. You can see the guys from CHN. What are they called, CHN? It doesn't sort of say. It just says CHN, box. Anyway, China maybe. They're pushing the west. They're absolutely got the heavy tanks in the middle. The EBRs and 907s looks like they've pushed straight down the one line, which is not an invalid tactic, but it looks like they've left an Object 260 back here at base. And Flying Elite gets a little bit of assisted damage, shoots him a couple of times, doesn't do any damage, but he certainly gives him a shock. He shot him once, and then the enemy FV killed the 260. There's a guy here in the middle. He killed the 260. It's this bloke here that Flying Elite's shooting at right now. Keeps chipping away. Now the Object 907 doesn't have that high alpha damage gun that you might see in some heavy tanks, but it just continues to chip away. Little bit by little bit, 320 alpha damage by 320 alpha damage. Over and over again, they pile into that guy. That guy, I hope he didn't get kicked for killing the 260. 3 zips a score. Remember, this is only 10 versus 10. So basically, what generally happens in a 10 versus 10 is whoever wins the vision game at the start of the battle and works out where the weakness might be, might win pretty comprehensively, but it might not always work that way. I would gather that the enemy team have pushed down here towards the southwest, and they've sort of almost flipped sides. The Flying Elite, as well as his mates here in the 907, duct tape armor, Black B. Lee Hoof, however you say that one, and his friends have all come around. He shoots and kills the Chieftain, and that brings the score back to 5-1. 1 kill to the Flying Elite, 1792. It's just letting that Russian gun sing. Shooting like you wouldn't believe. That was he switches to APCR, because if you're auto-aimed on a tank, there's a good chance your bullet is going to go through the tracks, and the tracks are spaced armor, and heat rounds just don't like spaced armor. So if you're driving around, buzzing around like a mosquito, sometimes APCR is better than heat. And Flying Elite just picked up his third kill, 8-4. What we saw happen there with Fort Clan, they worked out that so many tanks were down here in the southwest, or at least down this one line and this K line, and exploited that weakness by pushing on whatever was in the east and the north, and then, which was the 260 and maybe one other tank back there, and then push the middle, get rid of what's ever in the middle, and then they can come and chase these little annoying mosquito medium tanks towards the end. 9-4 the score, Flying Elite on 4 kills, 2,275 hit points of damage, 410 assisted damage. We're just looking for a 907, and once again, the lineup from China was an EBR, 3 Chieftains, 2 277s, a 260, a 90, 3 90s, and there goes that last 90. Flying Elite not believing his luck, saying, shit, I reckon I might have a chance to get this last kill. Let's have a look at the result before we move on to our fourth and final replay in today's Dawn of Industry Clan Wars Extravaganza. That was Fisherman's Bay and Flying Elite fought versus CHN. The 907 attack. It was a good push from the Flying Elite and his clanmates. 2,387 hit points of damage, 5 kills. And the 279 had a ripper as well on 2870. A couple more in the 28 mark. The Super Conk and another 907. Good spread of damage from the lads and ladettes from Fort Clan. And China Clan, not quite there. The 90 had a good game. But no one else really stepped up. Again, making credits in a Clan Wars battle. Flying Elite, are you serious? 16,000 credits after tax in a premium account in that 4-minute game. Let's move on to our fourth and final replay. It's Fort again. This time they're up against Sabre. And again, it's a 10 versus 10. And Sabre being the first and the last team in today's Extravaganza. If your clan has done any was participating in the Clan Wars campaign, feel free to send me the replays, not just for this campaign, but for any future campaigns. I think by the time this video comes out, I think maybe maybe the patch will have dropped. I think it's a pretty safe bet to make. There's the Hoff. Is that David Hasselhoff? I'm not too sure. Flying Elite again this time. He's in the EBR 105. Driving for Fort Clan. There's a 277, 279Es. Tyrion Lannister again, we saw him. Who doesn't like Game of Thrones? A few 90s, 1 Chieftain, 2 Super Conquerors. Interesting, Fort seeming to favour some Super Conquerors, or maybe it's people who don't have Chieftains. I'm not too sure, because I'm sure I read somewhere that if you didn't have a reward tank, you couldn't play. I don't know. Maybe that's just conspiracy. Fort Clan up against Sabre. This is 10 versus 10 again. 10 versus 10 on the basic front. So again, if you're in a clan that's new to the game or a developing clan or you haven't done many Clan Wars, 10 versus 10 isn't too bad. And maybe consider strongholds and skirmishes to maybe dip your toe into the Clan Wars experience. 0-0 the score. Don't blink. It's about to be on for young and old. Once again, Heavy's in the middle, finding these Super Conquerors. Looking at the numbers, again, it looks like the middle is where the advantage is. What's that? 5, maybe 6 heavy tanks on Fort's team in the middle of the map. They're all pushing on those 3 Super Conquerors, or maybe 4 Super Conquerors, with these medium tanks sniping from the side. It's a massive overmatch, and that's what you want to look for when you're playing Clan Wars battles. 3 zips a score. Flying Elite on 759 hit points of damage. 321 assisted damage. I don't think he's going to top score in this one. 4 zip is the score now. He's in the EBR, and he's most certainly on cleanup duty. He's just going to fly around, buzz around, be a little annoying little mosquito. Just shoot him in the side, shoot him in the back. Use your speed, use your mobility. That 277 is certainly looking elsewhere, so he gets behind him. I like the camo though, that the 277's got. That's the Twitch camo, the Twitch Prime. I think it is anyway. 4-2 the score. We're on Fisherman's Bay. This is Fort versus Sabre. Sabre going for the cap, and Flying Elite knows he's the only light tank. He's on full health. And he's probably the only tank who's got the speed to get back for the reset. A minute 20 though before they can cap this one out. Winning 4-2. And you'd think that Fort would have the numbers over here against these 277s, and there they go. The 277s starting to drop. Chieftain, IJN, Kamikaze. Kamikaze is a pretty cool in-game name. With the Flying Elite coming for the resets. Flying Elite shoots. It's the Hoff again. David Hasselhoff. Is anyone old enough to remember him? He still acts. He was in some epic TV programs when I was a kid, including Knight Rider and Baywatch. But that's beside the point. 7-2 the score. This is Fort versus Sabre, winding us up in this Clan Wars. Dawn of Industry Extravaganza goes for the high explosives option to shoot the EBR, which is not a bad tactic. It's a 105mm gun. Potentially 500 hit points of damage for 105 penetration. That's with HE. APCR is only 390 damage for 190 pen. 240 pen with heat. Now, you shouldn't need heat at all against another EBR. Goes for the ram. Waits for his gun to swing around. Shoots him and kills him. Down goes the 140. That's my old mate Bunyip Bob, who's often watching on my Twitch stream. Wobbly wheel on the EBR, and the Flying Elite Thank you very much for those replays, Flying Elite. Let's have a look at the result before we wind up today's video. Yep, that was fast and furious, but that's what you need to do. When it's 10 versus 10, I reckon anyway, the most successful Clan Wars battles I've seen, especially at 10 versus 10. 15 versus 15 is a little bit different, a lot different. But if you can see that the enemy team have got 6 tanks there and 3 tanks over there isolated, and you can get more than 3 tanks over there to get rid of them, then that's what you should do. That's just my simplistic point of view. So if you're in a clan who's sort of thinking about dipping their toes into Clan Wars, do the skirmishes, do the skirmishes, advances. There's lots of different options, and which I highly recommend you do it, because it's a different aspect of the game, and you can get some good rewards too, including the 907s of chieftains, gold, bonds. I don't know, what else can you get? Heaps of stuff. Anyway, massive thanks for the Flying Elite and my old mate Jump Honor from 1AR Clan. Shout out to all the clans that played in the Clan Wars campaign, the Dawn of Industry. I enjoyed it. The people who stayed up in my time was from 7 till 3 overnight. That's full-time hours. Shout out to those guys. A massive effort, and I hope you all win tanks. Everyone who did those massive hours. It's like having a second job. But well done, well deserved. I'm going to do it the lazy way and put in for the auction. By the time this video comes out, I'll know if I've got a 907. We'll see. Thanks very much for the replays. Flying Elite. Don't forget to check him out on Twitch and YouTube. His links will be down below. Jump on it, my old mate, you legend as well. Thanks for watching. Take care and see you all next time.